Thank you everyone who requested the track.
It's not over. Then you've come back with this new track, yeah, on the party. What's it?
Party track.
On the party track with him.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell me about that track, because that track is absolutely big.
Where do I start with that? Let me big up GHETTO Links Records, Kashka in Jamaica. Big up yourself every single time. Apollo Dan, thank you for the link up.
Shouts out to Apollo Dan, definitely.
That's how that came about.
Alright.
So Mr. Dan
yeah.
said to me, here's producer.
Okay.
I made him hear your stuff.
Yeah.
He likes it, wants a singer. And he sent me a couple of tracks.
He sent you a couple of tracks, yeah?
Yeah, and I'd done a couple of songs, obviously, as you know, before.
Alright.
Party track came along, I heard it, and within half an hour I wrote the song and I...
So you wrote that in half an hour?
Yeah.
Oh my. Even right now, present day I'm talking about, is one of the most requested tracks. This shouts out to everybody doing it big outside of London, but people outside of Bedford and outside the UK are starting to speak about Meera. What's your formula?
My formula?
That's what I want to know.
Wow.
What's your formula?
I'll be honest with you, it really isn't. It really isn't a formula to say I go that deep with
no,
a formula.
What are you doing? You're doing it well though. You're doing it big right now. So
it really is just going with it. Like whatever I feel a vibe for, then I can work with it.
Then you work with it.
So it's just what comes from me.
Have you always been able to sing?
I've always sung.
But how did it happen? Did you just like one day you was in front of the mirror, in the mirror or something, and you thought, yeah, let me, you know? How did it happen? Like, how did you know?
As far as I know, I've always sang. My mum said I sang before I spoke.
Alright. So it goes way back.
It goes way back.
Yeah.
But I grew up with my grandparents. I lived in this house with my grandparents.
We're in Meera's house, by the way, right
house.
now. So there you have it.
So rest in peace, my grandparents. But they were really the ones that, you know, I was playing harmonium at the age of like 2, 3, singing with them every day. And then obviously my mum and dad were like heavily into music as well. My mum would play stuff like Madonna, Cher.
Yeah.
You know. My dad would play Blondie to Bob Marley.
Yeah.
So it's like I had music coming at me left, right and centre.
Alright.
So my house was musical.
So you come from a musical background.
Yeah.
So basically, there's a lot of singers out there.
Yeah.
Even big singers out there in the public eye, so to speak.
Yeah.
But I think they've made them great singers in the studio. Because when they perform live, they're not the same. Yeah. But I've seen you perform live. Yeah. And you killed it in front of big crowds. I mean, what do you prefer? Do you prefer singing live or do you prefer the studio? What do you prefer?
I love to sing live. If I could sing anywhere, that makes me happy.
So then you get the nerves. Do you ever get nervous before you get on?
Of course. You always get a bit nervous before you go on stage, especially when you do something, obviously like the River Festival, and you know,
that was in front of a massive crowd as well.
There was thousands of people there.
Thousands of people there.
And obviously it was the reggae day.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing for me anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
So for me to go out there and just represent, I was nervous.
Yeah.
But as soon as I sang my first line and I'd spoken to the crowd, and I always like to interact with the crowd before I sing.
Alright.
Because I gauge what the vibes are.
Yeah.
And so I go from there, and then the nerves just flow.
Well,
positive.
No, it's a positive. I mean, I've got to say, I definitely enjoy your music.
So now I'm working on the EP.
Alright.
Which is produced solely by K42.
So Jigs, once again, shouts out to my boy Jigs coming out of K42. He's doing a lot. They're all doing a lot. They've got a lot of their own projects coming out, but he's producing your project as well.
Yeah, so you've got Shader, you've got
Instinct.
Yeah, there's a ton of those guys.
So being now I'm thinking K42, and I know a lot of stuff that they do, and you say reggae's your first love. What have we got to expect from this EP?
This is totally different.
Totally different.
This is pure R&B.
All right.
I'm taking it to another level.